Hello, everyone. I'm Chester44, and welcome to this Let's Play of Queen's Wish, the Conqueror. Last episode, we went and cleared out Nagafen over here. It was kind of a hard fight, but we managed to do it. Killed a Queen Naga and got some powerful gear out of it. Now, we can actually make our way to the home warren itself. Haven report, we got some resources. I need to clear out some of them again. You know what? Let them go. The snakes slither off into the fence to the east, never to be seen again. Which is fine. I'm fine with that. This is the wealthiest and most fertile region of the Ukat. This is the land of the Borgen tribe, holders of the crown and leaders of this swampy land. Some of the farmers are almost friendly. To the northeast, an enormous spire of rock sticks up out of the mire. The road leads straight to there. You see a caravan of Ukatish merchants accompanied by several guards. Their wagons and clothes are caked with mud and slime. Their wagons are laden with useful supplies. When you get close, they wave to you. Talk to them. They are friendly for Ukatish. They were nervous at first, but then they realize that you are a Havenite. They have been sent by their clans to trade with Havenite forts. This is very common in vassal states. When vassal states don't want Haven around, Haven's gold does a lot to make you welcome. Give them look at their goods. You look through their supplies. It's all useful stuff to keep a fort running, but there's no equipment you can use. Give them directions to a Haven fort. Fortunately, you have rebuilt one of Haven's fortresses in the Ukat. You give the soldiers directions. They march off in the correct direction. Okay. That's good. A lot of the Borgen clan's army is camped up here. Their sentries watch you warily as you approach. You aren't sure if you'll get a friendly reception. A lot of the Borgen clan's army is camped up here guarding the docks. They don't trust you, but they also don't want more trouble with Haven. They keep their distance. Okay. Same thing there. Well, there's that at least. Let's see if we can just uncover the road. Borgen lands. You are entering the most civilized, densely settled of the Ukatish lands. The soil here is adequate for decent crops, and there are farms everywhere. For once, your passage doesn't cause notice. Important clan leaders and ambassadors pass through here all the time, heading north to the home warren and the king of the Ukatish. Okay. Home warren north. A shadow passes over you. You look up and see a dragon. Not a drake, a full-sized dragon, awesomely imposing. This gets the attention of the farmers. When it appears, they run for cover. The dragon doesn't care, though. You can tell who it is looking for. It circles over you once, twice, 3 times. Then, as you start to wonder who will speak at your funeral, it flies off to the southeast. Okay. You are almost to the home warren. It is appropriate for this strange land that the royal palace is a giant cavern. The gate in is to the north, flanked by the royal guard of the Ukatish throne. The home warren. When you get close to the gates of the home warren, the royal guards step out and block your path. Then they bow and step out of your way. Your path to the king is open. This valley is the birthplace of the Ukatish people. It has been settled for centuries. When a few starving families of swamp folk banded together for safety so many years ago and formed the first clan of the Ukat, this was their fortress. You are surrounded by people passing in and out of inns, workshops, and tunnels in the rock. Your presence draws stares everywhere you go, but people are calm. They are used to important visitors. To the north, you see the massive wood and iron doors in the cliff wall. This is the entrance to the home warren. King Borgen the 53rd is waiting for you. An Ukatish merchant has set up shop out of this wagon at the end of this path. He greets you when you approach.
I'm honored by your visit, Havenite. I'm Dolus. How can I help you?
I'd like to know more about the home warren.
It is a civilized place. Our leader, King Borgen, has tried his entire life to make the Ukatish worthy of the respect of the known world. The savages out in the far swamps, like the Brock clan, don't care about this. Our king sees the future.
Let me see your wares. Iron bars, Ukatish salads, Ukatish plate helm. Not bad. Silver necklace, scroll of calling, scroll of life. I don't need anything.
Then please enjoy the glories of the home warren.
In a moment, because I need to sell some of these resources, it needs to be done. Chief Hertha, I want to export 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. That'll do. Now then, the home warren. After wandering for weeks through this strange land, it is hardly surprising that their royal seat is in a cave, not a castle. At least a cave might be easier to keep dry and clean. This is the home warren, held by the most powerful of the Ukatish clans. In this case, the Borgen clan. Their huge, heavily defended gates are to the north. We'll look around a bit first. Resting place. Oh, for the dead. Okay, I guess that makes some sense. Mushroom garden. Huh. Just like the Ammonites. Alright, I guess we go in here. Yeah, it is very well defended. Fortunately, the home warren gates are open to you. Many royal guards in plate armor and wielding halberds watch silently as you pass. Some of them aim ballistas at you. While the West Battalion could probably seize the home warren with heavy losses, your small band just doesn't have that sort of strength. Whatever you achieve in here, it will be with diplomacy. And diplomacy it shall be. You enter an enormous cavern. Once, hungry, desperate Ukatish hid in here. Now it is the seat of their government. Merchants and diplomats constantly come in and out. Guards are everywhere. You see the gleam of a huge forge to the west. Someone is waiting for you to the north. It's an old woman in threadbare but clean robes. At last, some official has come to greet you. The Borgen sage walks up to you. She seems like a very old woman, but she might not be. These swamps have a way of aging people prematurely. With difficulty, she kneels to you.
Welcome, Prince Rupert of Haven. I am Sage Noyal, honoured advisor to King Borgen of the 53rd. He welcomes you to the home warren, seat of power for the Ukat and the Borgen clan.
Okay, I kind of screwed up my accent there. I have no idea what I was doing. Thank you for the kind greeting.
Of course. We of the Borgen clan are clean, polite, and sophisticated, not like the others of our kind. We have been making ready for you for some time. We have prepared a banquet in your honor.
A banquet?
Yes. Our chiefs have prepared meals from all over the known world, which we learned about from our books. Minor lords and ladies have come from all over Borgen lands. The king insists that you let him honor you and display the new sophistication of the Ukatish.
I would be honored.
Sage Noyal smiles. I am relieved. Much work has gone into this. Many have traveled a long way. My king is determined to make this display. All is almost ready. In the meantime, chambers appropriate to your station have been prepared.
Where are my chambers? She points to the northeast.
Quarters for honored guests are there. Your chambers are the northernmost. Rest from your journey and clean up. We will be ready soon.
This is probably the first time an Ukat ever told a Havenite to clean up.
Now, excuse me. I must look in my books for new recipes.
She walks off to the north. The gate opens for her, allowing her upstairs. Then it closes behind her. One of the minor lords of the Borgen clan is walking around this cavern, inspecting the wagons and goods. His status is low enough that he still has mud on his boots, but you can see the ambition in his eyes. As you wander around the chamber, he follows in step behind you.
Welcome, Prince. We, the Borgen, want to be good hosts. Are you enjoying your visit to our great halls?
I am.
I am glad. I am Lord Joven of the Borgen. We want to have profitable relations with Haven. For example, my clan is very eager to sell our iron. Very, very eager. We want to help those who can help us solve this problem. Tell me more about that. He lowers his voice. I know that every young noble can always use a bit more gold. Royalty can be so stingy, can't they? He is right. Mother often gets irritated and cuts your allowance. If you make sure your forts buy our iron at a fair price, I will make sure some of the payment goes to you. Quietly. Personally. How will I be paid? Small, discreet payments. They will be delivered by our merchants. I'm a prince. I don't engage in petty corruption. I'm sorry. I didn't realize. Please excuse me. I have some urgent business. He bows and walks off to the south. An hour later you consider whether you should tell King Borgen about this lord's mischief. Then you realize that you have entirely forgotten his name. Well, okay then. Royal Chambers. Well, we're not going to be going in there, I guess. We trade here. Okay. Let's see. Warren Trading Post. This is a trading post, but it's also a showcase. Visitors to the home Warren can come to this shop and see the finest of Ukatish leatherwork, herbcraft, and such. The lady in charge has done her best to reduce the odor of the leather and keep her dress and floors clean, but the swamps of the Ukat only allow so much. Welcome, Prince. I am Malis. Please, allow me to show the goods of the Ukat. What sort of things do you trade? Prince, those outside our lands look at us and see dirty swamp folk. They don't realize that our Maya produces valuable goods. We want to trade them for medicine and other supplies. Even the Vol and the Ariel, for how much they hate us, still trade with us. The nations of Sacramentum trade with each other. We do. Not much. There was a lot of trade when Haven held the wild center of the land and kept the roads safe. These days there is trade, but little. How do you get medicine and supplies out here? It's hard. It's risky to send caravans through. We use barges and ships, but nobody on Sacramentum is so great at making them. Haven is the master of that craft. Alright, let's see what you have. Oh, I'm sorry, Prince. The word came down from the king. I can buy, but I can't sell. My job, he says, is to show you what the Ukat can offer you. Show we're a civilized people now. Alright, I guess I'll be going then. Warren Arms. This shop showcases the finest in Ukatish ironwork. As befits their unique style, the weapons aren't attractive. They are, however, practical, sturdily made, and vicious. The merchant here is a retired blacksmith, and he still shows a lot of the muscle. He bows to you. I am Gustan, Prince. You're welcome here. Haven's long valued our iron. This is where we trade our best pieces. To honored visitors. Tell me about Ukatish ironwork. Our weapons are like our people. Ugly and twisted, and others look down on them. Yet they always work, always do the job. The secret is iron from our land is better. Nobody knows why. What is special about this forge? It's the first great Ukatish forge. Our people settled here because of the safety of this cave. The fumarole outside, it kept us warm when we were just people of the muck. It is sacred in its way. How is it sacred? It is where we first learned to work our iron. We needed the heat of it. Our iron, it's where all our wealth and safety comes from. This is a special place. To me, it's the heart of our people. You can see the pride clear on his face. I want to buy equipment. I'll show it all. The king wants us to show how valuable our goods are. However, I'm not allowed to sell anything to you until Haven has a deal with the Borgen. What I was told, and I can't disobey the king. I am sorry. Okay then. And that must be it. A bunch of soldiers here, but I guess all we can do now is head to our quarters. I suppose we may as well. There There are visitors here. Can't take anything. Not in this one either. And these are our quarters. The Ukatish have prepared a private guest room for you here. It is surprisingly warm and clean. King Borgen is determined to show his guests that the Ukatish can be good hosts. Well, I suppose we shall rest. There we go. Haven report. We need to sell things again. We're completely full on almost everything. We need a new fort. You wake up from a much-needed rest. The room is warm and the bed was clean and comfortable. It's the best sleep you've had since you arrived in the Ukatish swamp. Decent wine and a loaf of white, crusty bread were brought while you were out. A note was left for you. You read it. Hope you are clean and rested. The banquet is prepared. King Borgen expects you upstairs soon. Please don't delay. Sage Noyal. Of course. We'll head there immediately. You emerge into the grand feasting hall of the home warren. The stone walls of the cave have been meticulously carved over the years, making a massive arched chamber that is alien and yet strangely lovely. Then someone filled it with art. Lots and lots of expensive art obtained from any possible source. An odd jumble of statues and paintings, few of them any good, cover every available surface. No Havenite back home would be impressed. When you enter, there is a long silence. The assembled lords and ladies of the Borgen clan, along with a few honored guests, watch your every move. An empty table has been reserved for you in front of King Borgen. They are really trying to show off here, without a doubt. Door is locked, I'm not surprised. Oh, that one's not locked. That one does surprise me. I'll speak with the king shortly. I'm guessing these are probably the king's quarters. Or something of that. You know, something like that. A lot of gold goblets. I mean, that makes sense. Let me guess, are these territories still... No, we can actually go in here. Can't go in there. Or there. Or there. Okay. Lady Arcella? You meet a young lady of the Borgen. She is looking at the riotous, random assortment of art on the walls. She is so wrapped with fascination that she doesn't notice you are here. She just stares. Silently look at art. You give it a good look. Your mother made sure that art appreciation was part of your education. Delia loved it. You, less so. By Haven standards, this is a clumsy collection of crude paintings. The lady finally notices your presence. Startled, she turns and gives an awkward curtsy. Hello, Prince. I'm sorry I didn't notice you. I was looking at the paintings. Our king has spent years collecting them. Why? Because they are beautiful, aren't they? He wants the Ukatish to be more like the better cultures. Where did he get the art? A lot of it was traded to Sacramentum when Haven was here. Some was made by the Ariel. Some was even made by the Ukatish, though those pieces are mainly in back rooms. I know this was all very expensive. I see. She looks at the paintings, trying to overcome her shyness. Finally, she says, What do you think of it? You are Haven, so you would know how beautiful it really is. What matters is what you think. But that isn't true. We are just swamp people. For centuries, our betters looked down on us. Now it is up to you to teach us... Oh, excuse me. Her mother has entered the hall and is calling her away. She curtsies and runs away. Sage Noyal has nothing to say. This empty table has been set aside for you just below the main table for the king and his advisors. All in attendance watch you carefully, wondering if you will sit down and the feast can begin. Keep walking around. See if I can speak with anyone. You approach King Borgen the 53rd. This is apparently a great breach of protocol. He stares at you silently. Sage Noyal says, You will have time to negotiate after the feast. Your feast is there. She points at the empty table by the head table. Apparently, that is where you are to go. There's no one else to speak with, so... sit down.
You sit down and the feast begins. Alas, it is a copy of the interminable diplomatic feasts you hated so much back home. Why do the Ukatish have to copy this part of your culture? Delia loves it, but you... Sage Noyal and an assortment of lesser Borgen nobles make brief statements about their desire to work with Haven. The food is careful copies of dishes from other lands of the known world, except that they aren't very good. They look right, but they're dull and bland. At last, King Borgen the 53rd rises. He raises a golden goblet to toast you. Toast back. He is gratified. He takes a deep breath and begins to talk for a long time. As he speaks, the Ukatish shift in their chairs. No food has been brought out, and they are quite hungry. Listen to the speech. King Borgen says, while looking at his fellow clan members, "It has been many years since the calamity drove Haven from our shores. At first we rejoiced. We were free again. Our swamps and marshes were wholly ours again. Then the old ways returned. The clan wars, the cowardly attacks of the Gaenel and the Brock, the loss of trade, the shortages of medicines and art and books and training, and the other gifts the known world brought us. Now Haven has returned. We are simple swamp folk no longer, but civilized, ambitious people. We will not be servants of Haven, but we can deal with them as full, proper people." The Borgen cheer. King Borgen nods to you and sits. There is a long, awkward silence. They clearly expect you to speak. Give a friendly speech. You do your best to give a speech of flattery, admiration, and hope for the future. The Ukatish are strangely nervous about this. They can't understand why Haven would be nice to them. It makes them suspicious. Finally, Sage Noyal says, "Well spoken, Prince. I'm sure we appreciate your kind words. Let the feast begin." Servers bring the dishes out. King Borgen nods and then settles down to eat. At this cue, everyone else digs in lustily. Eat a lot. Finally, King Borgen rises one more time. Listen to the king. "I declare these ceremonies concluded. I and the highest lords and ladies will retire to my throne room to discuss matters with the esteemed Prince of Haven. All others are dismissed." Rapidly, as one, all of the Ukatish flow out of the feast hall. The important officials go east. Everyone else goes down the stairs to the south. The feast is over. Now the work begins. Okay then. This is the throne room of the home warren. Again, it is carved out of the living rock. Again, it is somewhat spoiled by the big random clumps of art thrown everywhere. Borgen nobles are spread around the room, eagerly awaiting your meeting with the king. King Borgen the 53rd is waiting for you on a stool at the north end of the hall. He nods and beckons you forward. Okay, Runner Flag. Well, let's speak with the king. Now, let's see what the Runner Flag here. This massive warrior is King Borgen's personal bodyguard. He is an enormous, muscular swamp warrior wearing thick drakeskin armor. He scowls at you whenever you get close. Oh, that's Patricia. Alright, let's speak with the king. At last, you are free to talk with the leader of the Borgen clan. He is not unusual for vassal royalty. Once he was a strong warrior. Then, years of rich food and court life left him slow, sheltered, and detached. He doesn't even seem intelligent. He was born to his position. However, he is capable of arrogance and greed. He rises and grandly states, "I am King Borgen the 53rd, leader of the Ukat lands. I greet Prince Rupert of Haven to my court." Greetings, King Borgen. I am Prince Rupert of Haven. The Borgen nod. King Borgen grins stupidly, basking in the greeting of a great power. "I regret that you had a long, difficult journey to our court. I hope you have enjoyed our hospitality. Now, I have a question for you." What do you want to know? "The Ukatish are a simple, backward, superstitious people. This is known. I have worked my whole life to elevate us, taking our betters as our models." The Borgen nod. "Haven is known for its glories. Tell me, how have you found our palace?"
I find everything to be adequate. King Borgen nods quietly. There is a long silence. He suspects that you speak the truth, and he hates it. He wanted more. Still, he is gracious. From a Prince of Haven, adequate is the highest compliment. We are gratified. I don't want to waste your time, though. On to business. Yes, business. Haven has returned to Sacramentum. We expected an envoy, but not a full prince. You have faced some trials to get here, as I understand it. We would like to know your purpose. I want to discuss our treaty with the Ukatish. Of course, Queen Sharon enforced the treaty we had with you once. Now her wayward child has come to bring us to heel. Discussing it can't be avoided. When you are ready to talk about this awkward situation, I am ready. However, as you have seen, we are a civilized people now. We can trade and have dealing, but we will not simply capitulate. I would like to know more about you. He looks around at the other Borgen. Any sort of intimate conversation is impossible. Still, he will be polite. I am the leader of the Borgen clan, and thus the king of all Ukatish lands. The Borgen are one of the oldest and most prosperous clans. I am the 53rd person to hold this honor. How long has the Borgen clan ruled? We have held the home warren many times in our history. Our current time on the throne has lasted almost a century. A very long time by our standards. Tell me about the other clans. They are all troublesome, valuable members of the Ukatish, even the troublesome Ganel. Sometimes they are like angry children, but then it is the job of the king to discipline them and bring back unity. How long have you ruled? I have been king since my father died 20 years ago. I was only a lord when I had the honor of meeting your mother. You met Mother? I had that honor. She only entered our lands as far as Nakala, but lords like myself journeyed far to meet her. The Ganel earned a fortune in tolls that year. Meeting her was glorious. She was very kind to us, and we tried to make her see that we had value. Did you succeed? Queen Sharon saw us like everyone sees us. Simple, dumb swamp folk to be tricked, used, and discarded. He looks around at the art and other luxuries in the throne room. I swore that when I had the throne I would earn more respect. King Borgen sits on his stool, watching you cautiously. He is looking for ways to intimidate, trick, or out-negotiate you. The training you received, what you paid attention to anyway, makes you confident you can outwit this backwater potentate. So, Prince, what other matters await our discussion? Let's discuss our treaty. Yes, the treaty brought wealth and prestige to the Ukatish, but it also gave Haven control over us. We often found that you treated us with contempt, much like the Ariel and the Vole. The treaty is there, but you abandoned us long ago. What do you want, Havenite? We expect you to pay us what you owe. Ah, but you have not lived up to your obligations. You owed us trade and protection. Then your army fled Sacramentum, leaving us without protection from the Ariel and Vole. Our contract is void. Now he looks you in the eye. That doesn't mean we can't renew it. It can exist again. First, we have to show each other that we have things to offer. What do you want? I want to offer you the wealth of the Borgen. As a vassal, we can send you tribute, far more than our poor muddy rivals can pay. In return, we want your protection. We want the help and training of your soldiers, so that we can hold the throne. First, we need to know you are sincere. We require 2 tokens to show that the Ukatish are not lowly creatures to you. Tell me about the tokens you want. There are 4 ways you can show to the Borgen you will value and aid us. You can give the Ukatish status as a favored vassal. You can weaken the Ganel that annoy us. You can help us deal with a troublesome dragon. Finally, you can get our new advanced culture properly acknowledged by Sacramentum.
What about favored status?
We know Haven's law, perhaps better than you. On each continent you can select one vassal who is favored. Only one. We want it to be us.
What does favored status mean?
In disputes you will always be more inclined to help your favorite. In return, they fight harder and send more tribute for your approval. We want this honor and this responsibility.
I don't know yet.
It is a difficult decision. In time, I think you will see that the Borgen are wealthy and powerful enough to earn the honor.
Alright, tell me about the Ganel.
You have encountered them already, I'm told. They have always been a greedy, quarrelsome lot. Now they want Haven expelled from our lands. They are speaking and sometimes even acting against their king. They must be punished. Haven offers security and peace to its vassals. That is what I want from you.
What exactly do you want me to do?
Go to the Ganel estate, the seat of their power. Take it, loot it, destroy it. Show them what it means to threaten a king.
Where is the Ganel estate?
It is northwest of Ganelspan on an island. I don't think they will expect a group as small as yours to attack them. They are only a lowly Ukatish scum, so they will be easy prey for a Havenite, right?
There is no other way to deal with them?
Our army can't reach them. They are too far from Borgen lands, and the Brock are in the way. This is why we need to deal with Haven. You and your soldiers can range anywhere in our lands. The Ganel are too stubborn to talk. They must be punished.
I will do it.
Then return when their great hall is yours, and we will believe again in Haven's power.
Tell me about your dragon. King Borgen nods slowly.
The dragon, the plague and blessing of the Ukatish for centuries. Gorsh he is called, the great beast of the south swamps. We have had many dealings.
How long has he been there?
Centuries. He flew in and settled before we had mastery of iron. He was small then, but he grew. Now we could expel him, but it would hurt us so much that the Ganel and Brock could swarm us.
What sort of dealings?
We gave him offerings, flattery, meat, gold. It lets our children alone. What is more, when it is in the mood, it does favors for us. Kills Vol and Ariel raiders, for example. Now it is getting old, erratic, arrogant, even ever more demanding. We can't ignore this anymore.
Where is the dragon?
In the swamp to the south. They tunnel into its lair. The tunnel into its lair is in the south side of the rocky hill there.
And what do you want from me?
Teach the thing humility. Threaten it with the might of Haven. Give it a thrashing. Whatever it takes to keep it from bullying us with greater demands.
And you want acknowledgement?
Yes. Centuries of insults from the Vol and the Ariel are enough. Look around you. The Ukatish are civilized now. Strong. Worthy of respect. We want that respect, and we want it in writing.
What do you mean?
When the Vol or Ariel are your vassals, go to them and get them to acknowledge that we are their equals. Again, in writing. Bring me the document, on nice paper, clear and properly signed.
Is that all?
That is all. If Haven is as powerful and influential as it thinks it is, getting such a small thing from your vassals should be easy.
That's all I need.
Then the Borgen thank you for your time, and we wish you a pleasant journey through our swamp.
Thank you. So, now we have a choice to make. Do we support the Borgen or the Brock? The Borgen are very clearly trying to do their damned best to show that they are pretty much incredibly civilized. Even though it is just this particular group that appears to be doing it, not everyone. Meanwhile, the Brock, they say that the Borgen have been doing this for too long. Oop, wrong one. Oh, no. There we go. I shouldn't have done that. That's not how I wanted to do it. Oh well. I'm not sure who I want to support, but I will say, I will say this. Dealing with the Ganel is what we need to do first, clearly. First things first, let's go to the Mirefangs and speak with our general, report in that we spoke with the king. General Ajax, I have met with King Borgen the 53rd. General Ajax listens with fascination. What a character. Loud and blustery, as we expected. Not really a threat to us, unless I get really careless, which I won't. What will you do with this information? Store it. Prepare. You have met everyone of influence among the Ukatish. That is the material you have to work with. Now you can look for the fracture point, the place my soldiers can apply force to shatter Ukatish resolve. We will prepare. When we can make the Ukatish our vassals again, we will be ready. What do we need now to act? I don't have enough soldiers to seize an entire gigantic swamp. However, we can keep King Borgen in power, or we can help someone else overthrow him. When we can provide the extra bit of force that will make the Ukatish our vassals again, let me know. How do I proceed? I can't give you orders, Prince. I'm sorry, it is not my place. I'm a soldier, not royalty. Do you have any advice? The two poles of power in the Ukat are the Brock clan and the sitting king. Those are the rivals. Can you convince one of them to accept our help, and obey their treaties with us if they get it? It is not time to take over Ukatish lands. That is not Haven's way. Haven's power is great, but our numbers are few. We can't just take over the world ourselves. In each of our vassal states, we need to convince many of them. Okay. Alright. Well, it is very curious, and the Lair of Gorsh is where we're eventually going to need to go. But I think first, the Ganel estate is where we need to go. We need to deal with the Ganel. We have 2 missions in order to deal with it anyway, and that is going to be our next mission. In the next episode, because this one has gone on long enough. So, until then, I'm Chester44, that is Rupert, Elspeth, Terrence, and Patricia. This has been a Let's Play of Queen's Wish, the Conqueror! And I shall see you all next time.